I wanted to go back to an oldie and yet a goodie and a hack that I use often. And also, I think a good best practice to keep in your pocket. And that's it was inspired by this week, right? And this week is what? Peggy's on mute. I read her lips. It said
Thank
thanks,
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. And the word itself is the giving of thanks. And I find it interesting that like somewhere along the way, Hallmark decided to remind us to tell the people around us that we love them, Valentine's Day, tell the people around us that we're grateful for them, Thanksgiving. And then what are the other ones? I mean, I don't even know, like Groundhog's Day, like be grateful of the days that have to happen over and over and over again. I mean, that's remember like mastery is the getting used to boredom, right? Groundhog's Day. It's a celebration of mastery. You'll never look at Groundhog's Day ever again after today's call. Groundhog's Day is a celebration of mastery, getting used to boredom. I don't even know where that came from, but that was a real time gold. So this week, right? We've got 3 days before Gratitude Day, the Giving of Thanks Day, and where we get together and we share the harvest of the year. And I feel like we don't spend enough time. I mean, look, we're really purposeful about it on this call. We start every call with a moment of gratitude, celebrations, and wins. And there's a reason, right? The reason is that it's impossible to feel otherwise when you're in a state of gratitude. And if you're having a challenge finding something to be grateful for, I mean, I'm going to tell you that the rest of your day is probably really similar. And so, you know, everyone's got challenges and everyone's battling and dealing with something. And in the midst of all that, gosh, there's still so much to be grateful for. And like you can choose to like live in the shit and talk about like all the things happening to you, or you can take a second and go, okay, despite all this stuff, look at all the things that are happening for me. And so roundabout way is like this is a really great week where you can go and you can make reach outs, calls, touches to people that you may have not in a while and have an absolute free pass. And you can even blame this call. And you can say, hey, I know we haven't talked in forever. However, I'm on a mastermind call. And today we talked about gratitude and we talked about how there are certain people in our lives that come across our lives that really make an impact. And for whatever reason, your name came to mind. And I just felt compelled to reach out and give you a call and just say, hey, thank you. Thanks for being you. Thanks for coming into my world. And I appreciate you. Happy holidays. You guys sticking around. And then just take it from there. Right. And that may be more, I don't know, like gushy, airy fairy. I don't know. What do you want to call it? Like that may be more vulnerable than you've ever been, like all year. And yet I'm going to challenge you that like when you make that call, um, your day will be different. And so like for the next 3 days, I'm going to challenge you. I said, what would it look like if you had 5 of those each morning before you had to get to the things that you have to get to and start your day with? And when I make calls, like when I've got a list that I got to knock out, where I've got a bunch of unknowns, prospecting, follow-ups, cold calls, etc., I always start off with one or two gratitude calls. Like I'll hack it. I'll say, okay, I'm about to start my calls here at 8:30 or 8:45 or whatever it is, and I'm gonna reach out to somebody and I'm gonna just shoot them a gratitude call. And that for me, it's everything to just get the day going. So what I'd like for you to write down is I want you to think about, even just this past year, who deserves a gratitude call? And what I mean by that is who's likely the last person you would probably call to give this call? And that may actually be the person that you should call to give this call. Because in the back of your mind, you're like, well, not after what they said, or if they want to talk, they'll call me, or whatever that is. Or they know where I am. They know how the phone works. They can reach me if they care. If there's anybody in your world like that, just write down those names. And then I'm gonna I'm gonna challenge you, if you really want to experience this season, make that call. For why? For who? Not for them, for you. Life is so much better when you release it, like any of that stuff. If it's sitting there, if there's any conversations or relationships that are just kind of hanging out there that have a sourness or a heaviness to them, what would it look like if you just got to let those go and give them up to gratitude? Who could share an experience where you leaned into gratitude and it made all the difference?
Feel like that um actually it was in bold, like when they when you do like the gratitude calls. And I actually reached out to some people that hadn't even used me before, and one of them was a friend of mine who, when I had gotten licensed, told me, she's like, no offense, but I'll never use you when, like, for real estate. She's like, I won't use anybody like who's a friend. And I just called her and told her, like, I really appreciate like your support that you've given me in this business, because she had been very supportive. She just told me she wasn't going to use me. And like,
Uh,
I said, I just really appreciate you and everything. I didn't bring up what she had said to me at all. I just like really thanked her, for everything that she had, like, just her support and like her encouraging like me and stuff. And then she's like, she brought it up and said, I never should have said that to you. She's like, we actually want to sell our house, and I was going to see if you would come over. And I was like, I mean, that's not even why I made the call. I just wanted her to know that I still like really appreciated her, because like I said, she was sharing my name with other people and stuff. She just said she wasn't going to use me. I ultimately ended up selling their house for them, helping them buy another one. And now I've helped them sell that house and buy another one too. But about 9 years ago, like when I got into real estate, because it'll be 9 years in the spring, she told me she wasn't going to use me. So, but I've had a couple of those. And then I've also had some investor clients that I just when I was kind of like looking last year, who had probably been like my top clients, I bought them like a really nice set of Cutco steak knives. And I just said, I just really appreciated you. Like, I know you guys have a lot of they own several businesses. They have a lot of investment property and stuff. And I said, I just wanted you to know, like, I really appreciate you. Thank you, like, so much for all of your business. And the husband ended up, like, I gave it to the wife, but the husband ended up messaging me, and he told me, we were talking and we said we have no reason ever that we will ever call another agent after working with you. And I was like, all that came from is just me being thankful for them. And then that's what, and it wasn't about the steak knives. It was like he it was, I think it was really just because I've always come from like a position of being just so thankful for them. And it, just shows up.
It's one of the most powerful forces of nature when it comes to relationships and people.
Hmm.
Like,
People they appreciate that. They appreciate being thankful for them and not it's a different, than just expecting them to use you, but they appreciate the thankfulness.
well, yeah. Well, and why do you why is it why is it so special? Because we don't practice it enough. We don't get it enough.
Well, and I think
People,
she hit the nail on the head. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Matt.
no, no.
She said people just like almost like take it for granted, like they take however you word it, Peggy, like that people just kind of like, it's almost like they like expect the business or whatever. So they don't have it to be like, they don't have to be thankful or something, like in a lot of other businesses.
I was sharing the other day when we were in Miami and we had our leadership mastermind for the growth team. We got together. We did like we've been part of this growth team for over a year now. And there's six of us growth leaders and then the three VPs and then the senior VP Amy. And so there's 10 of us in the group. And even though we're on like a lot of calls, like up to that point, I think we were more of a group, right? Like we weren't a team yet because we're individuals, right? We're out there in our regions doing our thing. And what was interesting is we got to the mastermind. So we did some marketing photos, which was really, really fun. We did some really silly stuff. We did like the all the pretty girls walk like this, like Mart. It was really funny. And then we went into our mastermind session, and Amy's like, "All right," she goes, "We're gonna slow things down, and we're gonna do this um, team building exercise." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I've done quite a few. And she's like, "Joe, come up here, sit up here in the front." And there's a seat in the front. And she goes, "We're going to go around the room and everyone is going to share with Joe how we see you and why we're like something that we're impressed with and what we see in you and how we see you and how you show up for us in our world." And there were 10 of us, but plus there was like five administrators. So there's like 15 people in the room. And everyone took like at least a minute or two for everybody. We spent 3.5 hours almost going around the room, looking somebody in the eye and like sharing with them, like, "Hey, here's how you show up. Here's how I see you. Here's how I'm impressed by you. And like, this is what I see. And this is what like I admire about you." Like, everyone was crying in the room. And when we left that meeting, we were no longer a group. Like, we were a team. And at that point, like, all right, now we can go to war. That like brought everybody closer together than anything else. It was really, really neat. There's something incredibly powerful whenever we share gratitude with one another, especially on the team. So, this week, use it as an opportunity to launch that if you choose. But I'm also going to challenge you to incorporate a practice of gratitude throughout the year. But this is a really great opportunity for you to dig into the sticky parts of your Friend Connect program, of your sphere, where there may be some names or numbers that every time they come across you, you're like, I don't really feel like making that call. And go, "You know what, today though, I'm gonna make that call. And I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna release this, right?" Other thoughts around this?
Just gets you to thinking like some of the people that you need to have conversation with that you don't want to have conversation with. It just has me sitting here thinking like, why am I not having a conversation?
Uh-huh.
A lot of ego in there.
Yeah.
A lot of ego in there.
Okay, so let's talk it through, right? So, all right, let's say you reach out to somebody that in your mind up to this point doesn't deserve the call. And that's also a really like that's a whole separate call in itself, whether or not you feel that like deserve to get a gratitude call from you. Like that's interesting. But then secondly, so let's say you go and you make the call and it's just received flat. They go, okay, thanks, I guess, and then hang up. How would you feel about that?
I, I don't think that would bother me as much as the former of what you were talking about. I think it's really hard when people have hurt you or wronged you in some sort of way to want to pick up the phone and give gratitude to them. And again, this, like, I recognize as this is coming out of my mouth, that sounds really terrible to say, but I think it's a reality is sometimes people have done things that really hurt you and I'm almost wonder like if giving gratitude instead of expecting a
Apology.
apology is a better way to go, right? Because you're
What's the most
expecting,
powerful one?
yeah, right, right. And again, which one gives you more? I know,
They're gonna have to live with that. That
yeah,
like you were the bigger person that was able to call and say, "Hey, enough's enough." I just wanted to say, regardless of what's ever happened between us, like I'm still grateful from you. Thanks for teaching me a
yeah,
lot of lessons.
yeah,
And there's a lot of truth in that one little statement.
yeah, yeah.
Thanks for teaching me a lot of great lessons. And one of them may be who exactly not to be.
Yeah, yeah. It's just fascinating to me. Like the more I don't know, even just the last year and a half, how I can start looking at things and be like, that's ego. That's not healthy. That's ego. Now, it doesn't necessarily stop me from thinking that way. It's just being more self-aware of the fact, like, why aren't you wanting to do that? That's ego.
Well, the cool thing is like there's thoughts and then there's a feeling that it's associated to the thought. So the thing is that you have a thought. The feeling that you have is based on the story that you've created.
Yeah.
And the story that you created is your personal story. It's not grounded in any reality or fact. It's your perception of what's going on. So why not change the story into like I'm offended or you've hurt me to I'm grateful for the lesson you taught me. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because that feeling of gratitude can give you an action of I'm going to release this. I don't need to carry this. And like there's a whole thing that somebody was saying like you got to decide what is luggage versus baggage. Have we ever talked about this? Luggage versus baggage?
I think so.
Okay. Baggage is strapped to you. Baggage you hang on to, you don't let go. Baggage weighs you down. Luggage are the things that you have to bring along with you on the trip. But guess what? They stay in your room. How amazing would your vacation be on a cruise or otherwise if you had to carry all of your luggage with you all the time? You don't have to carry every hurt, every wrong, everything with you all the time. You can take that experience, put it in the luggage and put it underneath your bed and then it's there when you need it. But you don't have to go around filtering every experience through your luggage, which is baggage. Right? So many people are so committed to carrying every hurt with them everywhere they go versus saying that experience taught me something. I have a lesson, I have a tool, and it's here when I need it. But I don't have to assume that you're approaching me with the same malice, ill intent, or whatever that this lesson taught me. So when this experience happens, I can go, huh, this might or might not be like this. Let me go back into my tool over here and self reflect, right? Baggage is heavy. Baggage weighs you down. Baggage keeps you from really enjoying the experience at full. If you had to carry all your luggage around on the cruise, can't swim, can't go down the slide, can't go on the zip line because you're up there doing this. You can't even hold a drink because you're too busy carrying your luggage, i.e., baggage. So go put your baggage, i.e., luggage, under the bed. It'll be there when you need it and enjoy life. Baggage versus luggage. Who knew that that's where we were going today?
Everything comes exactly when you need it.
I've found too, like a lot of people don't even realize things that they've done that have been hurtful. Like maybe they were just in a place of something. Like um, I've only had something like this happen one time. And I had, it was one of my really good friends, like referral to me. And I had helped her, like I put money into her place, did all of these things to help her get it actually the place sold for over $100,000 more than it would have sold for without that money in it. And she ended up like the night before closing sent me a email telling me how I like took advantage of her and all these things. And I'm thinking, took advantage of her. Like, I don't understand how I put money up. She like fast forward like a couple years later, she's like the only person that I really had not like gone out of my way to try to, reach out to her and talk to her and everything. And we were talking like one time and I brought it up. I mean, like I said, it was years later, and she's like, I never wrote you an email telling you that you took advantage of me and stuff. And I'm thinking it's probably still in my things. I like searched it. I found it really fast. I handed it to her. She read it. She goes, I can't even believe I wrote this to you. She's like, I don't know what I was even thinking that night that I said it. So I just feel like sometimes people don't even realize like they don't even realize what they've done. So she just said I was really mad and I was really stressed out. She goes, I wasn't even mad at you. I was mad about some other stuff. And so I don't know. I mean, if it hadn't been that particular person, I don't even know if I would have ever brought it up to him. But it did it was like eye-opening that some of the times people, some of the stuff they say and do, I don't even think they mean to. Mm,
We had one of those experiences here just recently,
yeah.
right? Context, circumstance matters, right? So, anyways, um, that was the big message I just want to leave with you guys today is use the season for the reason to make some calls that you've been putting off and allow yourself to put down the baggage by releasing it through gratitude. That's my gift for you guys this week. Take the challenge if you're tough enough, or live with your ego. I don't know what to tell you. And you can be right. You can be right and carry it with you. I'm not gonna pull it from you. You get to carry all the baggage you want. No one's gonna pry it out of your hands. But the cruise is a lot more fun when your hands are free. It's that time. Happy Thanksgiving,
Hugs,
y'all.
hugs and prayers for your daughter.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Later.